Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure review. Just to forewarn you, this will be strictly a mint on card review, meaning there will be no unboxing. We're going to take a look at the action figure as is, mint on card. Alright, before we begin, first off, I just want to say I got this wonderful action figure from one of my favorite local collectible toy stores, and that is Wax Packs Records and Toys, located in beautiful Roselle, Illinois. If you happen to be in the Chicagoland area, check it out. The owner, Aaron, really nice guy, fun place to shop. Okay, so yesterday I was at Wax Packs and I was selling off some of my Transformer collection. It was about maybe like a little over half a dozen of like mint in box Transformer figures that I purchased over the last 2 years during COVID and lockdown. Early on during lockdown, the only thing, a lot of stores are closed, and the only thing that was open was like the essentials like Targets and Walmarts. And during that time period, I kind of got the bug to collect Transformers again, so I kind of got back into like collecting some of the Studio Series figures and some of the War for Cybertron figures. A lot of those toys were characters that I already had from previous lines. So, I had no real sentimental attachment towards them, so I kind of felt like they were just taking up space. So I kind of sold some of the figures that I was willing to part with. And while I was in the shop, I came across a bunch of Rocky action figures. So I think a week ago, I think there was another local collector. He sold his Rocky collection to Aaron. So Aaron had a bunch of these Rocky figures in stock, and I was like eyeballing them for like the longest time. Ever since he got them in, I really regretted that I didn't purchase these figures. Maybe like 15 or 16 years ago when they were in the stores. And for me, I saw it as like a second chance at getting a couple of the figures. I don't want to get like a ginormous collection because, for one, the secondary market price on these Rocky figures, they could be very like through the roof and astronomical. I'm not going to disclose how much I paid for this guy, but let's just say that, with me trading and selling some of my Transformer toys, some of that went towards the purchase of this guy. So what we have here is Rocky Balboa, the Italian Stallion as he appeared in the third Rocky film. This toy is produced by Jakks Pacific. And as some of you older collectors will remember, Jakks had the WWE license for many years. So one of the cool things with this specific line of toys is that they kind of shared the same scale and body and molding as some of the WWE figures produced by Jakks. A lot of you might recognize this as the Ruthless Aggression body type. And it's a wonderful figure, great likeness of actor Sylvester Stallone. Beautiful black and white illustration of Rocky right here. And Aaron had a couple of these Rocky figures, more specifically Rocky Balboa. And there was another figure that looked almost identical to this, and the price difference was like, God, maybe like $30. So the other figure was like $30 cheaper, and then I was about to buy that. But the one thing I noticed was that figure, he wasn't wearing boxing gloves. He just had taped fists. And I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, do I fork over the extra $30 just for the boxing gloves? And I knew if I didn't do that, I'd regret it. I know this is the crazy collector in me speaking, but it's like, if I'm going to have only one Rocky figure in my collection, I got to make sure he's at least wearing, he has his gloves on. So I kind of like gave in and, pulled the trigger on this guy just because he had the boxing gloves on. It sounds stupid, but if you're like a hardcore collector or a fan, you'll understand, the kind of mania and madness that goes through our heads and our brains when we think about, what we want in our collection. And I've always wanted a Rocky figure in my collection. Like I said, I regretted never purchasing any of these figures when they first came out. So when the store had these in stock, is like, for me, I saw it as a second chance. I think it was NECA some years ago. They released a Rocky figure. I think it's based off of maybe like the Sega video game. And I remember passing on that also, and I kind of regretted that too. But for me, this is a semi-iconic look for Rocky Balboa. and I just had to have this figure. It looks great. I love the package design. Jakks, man, back in the day, they never disappointed with the package design. This is very eye-catching. I love how on the spine they capture a lot of the iconic moments from the film. Like here, Rocky, his face is all swelled up. Here he is, facing down Clubber Lang. You have Paulie, and then you have Hulk Hogan, which is great. And there's even image underneath with Carl Weathers. Yeah, wonderful package design. And there's this cool little seal here. It says, original release, May 28th, 1982. Rocky Balboa vs. Clubber Lang, the rematch. So this is his appearance in the third film during the rematch. And it's great that they do a lot of fun fan service and provide you with this kind of like little bit of information, detailing which film this was from and when the film was released. And on the back of the box, now I love this kind of package design. It's something I really wish modern toy companies would re-embrace. I love it when they, really sell you on the entire line of action figures. Like, it's awesome that they show you the complete wave. Like, these are all the other figures available. It's almost like a checklist letting you know, okay, you need this guy, you need that guy. And it's, I don't know. I think for me, it makes collecting a lot more fun. And here's some of the other figures. So Aaron had all these figures in the shop. If I had to go back and get more, I mean, depending on their price, I want to get Paulie. The post-fight gear looks cool. I like that a lot. The training gear looks weird. It's not a very iconic look for Rocky, but this is, the price of this figure compared to the one I bought, I think it was like, God, maybe like $40 or $50. Like, this figure, I don't know. It looks cool. It's more affordable. But like I said earlier on, if I'm only going to have one Rocky figure in my collection, I want to make sure it's at least an iconic look of the character. Great little bio here on Rocky Balboa for the third film. Some other figures available. There's Joe Frazier. There's Jimmy Lennon Jr. right here. You have Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips. Clubber Lang. 2 different variants. Yeah, wonderful action figure. Great line of toys. Man, I really, really wish I was into this line when it first came out. This came out back in 2006. So yeah, you're looking at something that's roughly 15 to 16 years old. It looks fantastic. And since we're on the subject of Rocky, here's the actual Rocky 3 DVD, if you remember what a DVD is. I'm not sure what's my favorite Rocky film. If I was stranded on like a deserted island, I don't know which film I'd want with me. I do enjoy Rocky 3 a lot. I think it's kind of like when it becomes a little bit more on the entertaining side. The first movie is great. That's a really, really good movie. Really great film. But yeah, here's a DVD. If you're old enough to remember what a DVD is. And let's see if I can get this out. Here's the Rocky 3 DVD. So this was actually part of the box set. Let me get that out real quick. Where is it? So yeah, this was part of the Rocky collection. So for those of you who are big into collecting DVDs like years ago, you'll remember this box set. I'm such a sucker for a good package design. This is great. You have the gloves touching, the Rocky logo in silver. And if you're a fan of the TV series King of the Hill, there's a funny joke about the Rocky box set. So yeah, awesome toy, awesome set of films. So yeah, I hope this kind of like got your gears spinning if you're a Rocky fan. If you're like me and if this is something you passed up on, I just suggest hunting these down on eBay now as opposed to waiting later. It seems like as the years progress, these figures just keep on getting more and more expensive. Like I mentioned earlier, NECA, they had the license for, I think, the Rocky video game. But if you really want some really cool set of figures, especially, coming from a company that provided a lot of fan service and produced a number of the characters from the films, you might really want to look into the Jakks line of toys. It's great. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber viewer, thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.